Welcome back to round 2 of the Flip City Open presented by Crew 42.
42?
Presented by Tilly's Disc Golf over in Traverse City, Michigan.
Check them out. They got some good booze and plastic. We got the Touch Twins takeover today, baby. Round 2. Let's do it. Got myself, Reed Freskura, and
Andrew Marwede here.
That's right. So we have Andy shooting super hot the first round at an 11 down. So let's see if he can hold on to it. As always, make sure to hit up the Patreon account for Crew 42 and support those guys because, you know, they work a lot harder than you think. So, yeah, 11 down Andrew Marwede. We got Skyler Stoker, a nice 7 down. We'll see if Cameron Benak can make a run on Andrew, but yeah, we'll see. As always, we got Andrew Marwede with this little mitten bag, tea bag thing going on. He probably even throws with it. Who knows? Shooting a 1031 rated round, super hot. Next up, we got Skyler Stoker, shooting a nice 1008 rated round. He'll be pretty happy about that. This is an East Side dog, and he brings the heat.
Also from the East Side, we got George Beno making lead card, shooting a 66,000 rated. God, that stash is so
that
good.
Confidence.
That hair, though, we got Cam Benak shooting a 63 Pantene. Hole 1, par 3, 250 feet. Probably one of the easiest holes on the course to start you off here. Just a nice big hyzer, righty backhand, putter mid-range, whatever you want. Just something you want to play nice and wide and crash right in front of that tree.
We got Andy going, what is that, the Metal Flake Samurai?
That's the AVR X3.
Okay, well, Andy's throwing a putter because he's super awesome. What's Cam throwing here?
I think he's throwing a PA3, maybe. A little bit wide. Kind of not where you want to be.
Yeah, there's a chance he can still throw it in from there if he has a nice reach out. Who knows? Get some sweet throwing action, get some highlight reel video coverage. We'll see.
It's like Skyler going with more of a lower approach. Works out perfect. Don't land my disc. Okay, good.
We got Team Discraft's George Beno here. I'm betting he's either throwing a zone or a breaker, but I'm thinking this one's probably
his zone.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys haven't picked up a zone yet, be sure to, because, George Beno's only got a 5-foot putt, and so will you if you have a zone, so.
I don't think Cam had very much at all, but gave it a kind of a half run. He'll be tapping an unfortunate par on the first hole.
I mean, hey, with hot days like this, though, who's not trying to find the shade, you know?
Got the rest of us tapping in our birdies.
Did you bring your own lunch for this one, or did you run out into town for this?
I don't remember.
Did you get that sleazy Caesars?
I think we went over to Subway, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got hole 2, 502 feet. Popular play is a nice righty roller. There's a low ceiling, so that's why you'd have a nice righty roller. Otherwise, you can try to power one nice and low and get up there. Definitely rare to find a 2 on this hole, but it's been done before. All right, we got Andy up here throwing his beef winder. Oh. You got some height on that bad boy. Maybe just a little too much. Kind of got an awkward bounce.
Yeah.
But
didn't quite get it to flip over, but over on that left side is not too obstructed for an upshot, so.
You got Skyler Stoker up here, FSU football alumni. This guy can smash, I tell you. 600-foot bombers all day. Let's see what he does here.
Because he's also trying to go for the roller, just not quite enough. Didn't get it down quick enough, but similar spot to mine. Should be an open look to the basket.
The ever stylish George Beno. Let's see if he rips out a roller along with his fellow right-handeds.
Throws a little bit wide on a flippier disc. It's coming in nice and pretty, and that is going to be
back.
Pretty good.
Oh, yes.
About 100 feet or so.
Done. You know, Cam's one of those players who always looks super fresh.
I was just about to say that. He's the best dressed player on the course at every event.
I know. Andy's
maybe
wearing,
it's the visor, maybe it's the white belt. I just can't. There's not just one thing. It's everything.
it's a whole lot of swag, a whole lot of style. You know, I just can't believe he's wearing pants on a day that's hot, though.
I think that's his A2 or A3 upshot. Hits one of the last trees, so he'll have a circle's edge putt for his par. I remember telling myself that I was going to try to run this one, and it was not a very good effort.
Oh.
Yeah. Shot straight down from that branch. It's like Skyler kind of doing the same thing, but gets just around it, and that'll be a 15-footer for par. See if George wants to run this one. He's quite a ways away, but has an opening if he wanted to. Just plays it smart, lays up for his 3. Definitely not losing strokes taking a 3 on this hole.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, good
Looks
run.
so good, just short.
We got Andy here making his easy 3-putt all day. Yup. Yeah, if you guys would have seen this kid against Zach Melton for the virtual putting challenge, probably the best battle of the entire event. But yeah, you guys should check it out.
Skyler taking his time, making sure he converts on his par.
You know, I wonder where that guy buys his socks. He's always got some flashy socks going on. You usually do too, but today you just got some regular gray ones. What's that about?
I can't find them. I don't know. Like, I swear my dryer just eats one of my socks every time.
Well, I know I've had a pair of your hot dog socks for like probably a few months.
Do you have them back or no?
I've been wearing them, but
Oh, you can keep them then.
I can get them to you. I'll get them to you for that Silver Cup coverage coming up.
There we go.
All right, hole 3, 374. Most likely you're going to see a righty forehand shot. You know, as you can see that there's a little bit of a low ceiling, slight downhill. So righty forehand or a nice turnover righty backhand. There's a little bit of skip out there. You know, it's pretty dry this time of year, but we'll see what happens. Looks like we got Andy going with his beat-in destroyer. Excellent execution. It's coming out nice. And yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, Skyler also going with a forehand. I'm going to guess DD3. Little run-up action. And that is pretty perfect part job. I know we were talking about it on the tee pad. He actually threw a sidearm first round that skipped up and hit basket. So he almost aced it.
That's so dirty.
It'd be a dream ace to get.
Be a dream payday to get with all those people on that course. Easily $300 ace pool all day.
George also known for a good forehand, just stays a little bit short. And Cam with one of the smoothest forehands. Also going forehand. Just effortlessly.
It didn't even look like he threw that.
He just spins it so well. He must have hit an early tree or just high and knocked it straight down. But he's going to have a little bit longer of an approach, but does so nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Gives it a half run as well.
Come on, George. Come on, baby. Ah.
We've seen a lot of cage hits, like almost there, just not quite.
I mean, when it's windy day like this, you'd rather hit cage than go over. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, you don't want those comebackers. Like how Zuka matches his shirt and his hat.
Yeah, those East Siders do it right.
Got Skyler just tapping in his birdie. Jumping up into second place with that. Hole 4, we got 293 feet. Classic play here is a nice overstable fairway driver, maybe distance driver, penetrating this gap right here at the very end, going uphill to the left. New basket position from years past. Makes it much harder. After round 1, sawing off that backhand, I'm just going to throw a forehand. Try to get through that grouping of trees up there. There's a much smaller gap, but I promise there's a gap up there. Didn't quite hit it, but left it short enough to have a circle 2 putt at it.
We got Skyler here going with the traditional backhand on this hole. Just a little right. Not happy.
Then it kicked down to the left. George
Laser.
throwing something super stable. Hits a
What?
branch and just kicks down.
Only in Michigan can you hit tiny branches and have it stop your disc completely. I'm telling you. Michigan golf, guys.
Cam throwing it a little bit too high, I think. And clips some branches and drops down. Might be a long look for... Oh, actually, that's pretty close to the basket. Must have fought through pretty good. Skyler going for a skinny
Ooh.
gap and just hits that last tree.
Can Beno connect? He's had quite a few long putts this round so far.
60 feet.
Is he warmed
uphill.
up? Oh my god.
Such a good putt.
Whoa. Need to go change my underwear quick. That was dirty. All day. Buckets, baby. Alright, Andy, not letting himself get big putted. Come on. Oh yeah. Made sure to put the extra 10 on that one this time.
Got Skyler here from Tony, kind of trying to clean up his par. Sit.
So I mean,
Sit.
when you're putting uphill, Andy, what's going through your head?
So when I putt uphill, I tend to jump putt just because I know I'm probably going to leave it short if I don't. So when I get that left, ooh, Skyler missing that too. But just try not to miss it short because I know if I miss it deep, it's not going to go too far past as we're watching a very gross roll away from Cam.
Ugh.
But at least hit that last root and stopped.
Yeah, let's hope they're getting the rollaways out of this round early. Ain't nobody got time for no more screwed views. Alright, we got hole 5 here, 286, but in my opinion, plays a little bit further. If you got that right hand magic shot, there's a nice little left-handed gap over there. And otherwise, I mean, you just want to throw a flip-up fairway driver if you're right-handed and just kind of have it cruise down there a little bit. There's a little bit of danger on the left side, so make sure to stay on that right plateau, or else you're going to be having definitely some uphill putting action.
As long as you don't fade out too early and go OB on the right side.
Yes, there is OB to worry about.
Can't really see what that hit, but I think it hit one of those. Oh, sit down. Actually, it's not too bad. It's kind of rolling towards the basket a little bit, but you were down to the left is at least safe. Uphill look back at the basket.
So George is starting off the tee pad here, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm guessing he's maybe just trying to get more of that Anheuser angle on there.
I think so. Trying to play a nice flex, which seemed to work out pretty well.
It did. Yeah.
Now he's going to have the decision to see if he wants to run it or not.
You know George Beno is running that. He ain't no pansy. Got Cam here, similar shot, just putting a little more juicy juice on it. And not quite connecting. Him and those trees are not getting along on this shot. Oh, crazy kick off that big grouping of trees there in the middle. He might be flirting with that out of bounds, I'm thinking. But we will have to see.
This is a super scary upshot, too. It has to be so precise where it hits, and he just lands it so perfect.
Yeah, especially on a hole like this with that hill slanting left. Rollaways are definitely a concern for these players who are throwing the upshots.
There's a nice little rock pile, though, to slow it down, too, as long as it doesn't have too much height.
Yeah. Are you running this?
I want to say I am, but like my body just won't let me type of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe, I guess. Close enough for a 3 though.
What do you mean maybe? It's got to be a yes or no.
I don't know. I wish I knew. George doing the smart play, laying up.
How many girls, if you're proposing to them, are going to tell you maybe? I mean, usually it's either a yes or no. It's never any, wishy-washy kind of stuff. Like, I don't know.
Different story.
I mean, I don't know, though. If you're running a putt and you're proposing, it's pretty similar. Like, that's a big commitment right there.
Just can't commit to my putts.
There you go, George.
Taking his time, making sure he puts in the par.
That's smart golf, though. All you AMs see how long George took his time. You got to get comfortable near those lies, even if they're right near the basket. I mean, even last weekend, I saw some guys chain out from 5 feet, so you got to be careful out there.
Who was the guy?
I don't want to say any names, but Connor. Hole 6, 286 feet. A lot of these righties are going to be throwing something that's going to be a little beefier on the right side, or maybe just a nice mid-range that's going to finish hard. Did I say left side? They're going to be throwing it.
Right side.
I don't know. It's been a long day. But right side, pretty basic. There's a little bit of a quick action on the green there, so a little skippy. But we got Andy here throwing what looks to be a beat-in gator.
Good guess.
Thank you. A little skip action and right where you want to be. ABC golf.
Got George throwing his beat-up zone. Leaking a little bit left, but should have the distance, maybe just outside circle.
So I gotta ask, were the wins this round any different than the wins last round?
I think the end of the first round and the start of the second round were pretty equal wind. Overall, I would say it was a pretty windy day, but nothing too extreme.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of when you were out in the open field shots, because it is a pretty wooded course for the most part.
Yeah, I see it.
But usually you have a lot of calm days at Flip City, but when it gets windy, it just makes this course so much harder.
Nightmare. Also extremely eventful to watch, so it's a double-edged sword.
Got Cam with his circle 2 look, going just over the basket.
Come on, George. Team Discraft, baby. Be the one. Oh, come on. He's not too happy. Yeah, with a guy like George Beno, you can pretty much expect anything 40 and in, basically to be in his wheelhouse and canning those all day. But here we got Skyler with a fantastic birdie. Definitely one you want to get. Yeah.
Yeah, Cam with his comebacker for his 3. Sneaks it in there.
So, with the wind like it is, can you really, in terms of ratings, how many ratings points do you think that would affect it by?
Rough guess, maybe like 10 to 15.
That's pretty significant, I would say.
Overall, not like per stroke, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, per stroke would be wild.
That would be insane. Yeah, hole 7, 303 feet here. Main worry is hitting this gap where the drone is flying through right now. Not going too far, that back wall of trees though. Heiser just into the hillside, hoping to skip up and give herself a putt. One of the trickier tee shots on the course. I think that was my shot. Yeah. Flex forehand, didn't work out too well.
I liked the pause though. Like
I
you knew it was
honestly
yours.
wasn't too sure. I remember being short, so that looks like a nice shot though. Big Heiser, getting herself close to the top of hill to try to have a level putt.
And even on holes like this, there's no safety from rollaways. I've seen people roll away off missing putts out of the back of this one plenty of times. So
Cam just leaving his forehand too low, but I think he fought through a little bit, so he'll be at the bottom of the hill.
do you know what he was throwing off the tee there in terms of a Prodigy plastic?
I think maybe 3 or 5. I'm not too sure, but
so what's that, like a beefy T-bird?
Yeah, something like that maybe.
Oh my gosh, you're so sick. Great putt by Andrew Marwede, just cans it like it's another day on the putting green for him. Let's see if George Beno can keep up. Just a little bit of a miss. It is windy out there, folks. Got to be careful.
Skyler converts for his easy birdie.
Easy. You know, George Beno, just like Kyle Williams, he's another one of those guys who just always wears their sunglasses when they're playing. And I guess, like you were saying last round, it's kind of a testament to say, just in that, you know, they're very smooth players and they just come off the green, or come off the tee pad so smooth, they don't even need to take them off.
That's what I'm saying, it's that easy.
Yeah. Hole 8, 252. Pretty basic hole. You're going to see a lot of righty backhands on this hole, righty forehands. Ultimately, you just want to crash just before the top of that hill, I would say, just to get a nice little skip play down there, because otherwise there's a good chance of just bowling right past the basket. Definitely one of the dangers out here. Andy not too happy with that shot. Definitely unexpected out of his hand, but given that he's only 8 strokes ahead, maybe he's giving the other guys a handicap. I don't know. We got Skyler here with a nice backhand hyzer, and hopefully it's going to crash and a little deep.
It's just so hard to get that perfect speed coming in the green. It goes so downhill right before the basket.
I can see that.
It's like George has the speed pretty good. As long as it doesn't roll, and perfect.
Yeah. Just another example of how great a zone is. Just 5 feet from the basket. What do you think, that's an A2?
Yeah, I think so. It's either A2 or A3, I don't really remember, but that was an insane skip.
Crazy. Ooh. You're running this, though.
Yeah, there's a very tiny gap into a headwind, and I should not have ran that putt, but I did.
Well, at least you ain't no pansy.
Yeah.
Easy comebacker for Andrew Marwede, though. Is it Marwede or Marwede?
It's Marwede, but you can say either one if you want.
Okay.
I'm not sure why they spell it like that.
I was like thinking about it the other day, though. I'm like, what have I been saying Andy's name wrong like my entire life? Because
yeah,
Marwede.
I'm just kidding. Short, turn.
Nice layup.
Easy forward. Cam.
Oh.
Man, that looked good too.
You know, and I wonder, because Cam's got that watch on, I wonder if he just looks at it and it's just flashing birdie time over and over, you know? Like, so every time he like lines up his putt, he like looks at his watch, it's like birdie time. All right.
You just need that slight little confidence booster.
Any little thing helps. There you go, George. Got to be careful. Spit outs are a real thing these days. You know, I always like the player camaraderie at these events. I mean, even in light of COVID-19, you know, you guys are still grabbing each other's putters. You know, just great sportsmanship right there. All right, moving into hole 9, we got the Plinko hole. According to Andy, it's very deuceable, so we'll have to see about that. But there's definitely a nice little route on the left side, and there's also a nice little route on the right side.
Both super skinny, though. It looks like George is throwing his zone forehand through the middle gap. Absolutely pures at dead center. Awesome shot. I think that's his link, I want to say.
Ooh.
But just hitting that last tree, but he'll have a circle 2 look. As long as you get through that initial gap, there's really not much you can do past it to see where it hits the trees, but Cam avoids everything and has a circle 1 putt.
Yeah, great forehand by Cam. Notice how his palm is up when he's releasing his forehand. For all you AMs out there, that's how you want to be finishing your forehands. Right? You're the forehand god, right?
Yeah, I think so. I just throw it.
Now let's see how your hand finishes. Boom. Yeah, see?
Oh, look at
palm
that.
up. There's a free lesson for you guys if you're watching. Keep that palm up for a forehand.
Next one's not free, though.
Got Andy looking at a nice little 45 footer, and it's in. Easy. Go back to preview here. Look at how low he gets. He just scrapes the ground and pure confidence, and then just yings that bad boy up and just crash. Bang sauce all day. phenomenal. Scrum diddly umptiousness. Let's see if Skyler can back that up. Oh, monkey see, monkey do. All right. Notice a little point back. He saw you. He saw you. She got the crew view on this one.
I think you said something like, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. Or just absolutely hyzers it right around that tree perfectly, dead center.
My God.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Definitely some good athleticism out of those two guys.
Good putt.
Ooh.
Cam also with the birdie. I told you it was a birdie hole.
Yeah. I was wrong.
And George tapping it in for the star frame, 25 cents to charity.
There's a lot of rocks out at Flip City. You guys got to be careful. Rocks and roots. I mean, what are your friends gonna say when you get injured? You know, you're gonna tell them you were playing disc golf. They're gonna laugh at you. All right, hole 10, 275, up and over the hill and down and to the right. The favorable play is if you're a backhand dominant player, you're gonna throw that backhand turnover with a rock or maybe even something like a meteor. As far as the forehand play goes, I mean, you're just aiming at that tree on the left and just going to have it crash. And as you can see here, I mean, the green flattens out quite a little bit. So as long as you can land on the green, short of the basket, you know, you should get a nice, easy putt. But definitely a great addition to the new Flip City course. That's been in probably for about 2 years now. And it's definitely made the course more championship style. We got George here opting for the forehand. I'm guessing it's a zone shot. A little bit low, but I mean, she's a fighter. I don't know if he put Vaseline on that before he threw it, but she's down there looking good for a nice little birdie putt.
Be a little bit of weird footing though. Looks like it almost made it all the way down, but just on the back side of that hill. Skyler leaks his a little bit early, but fights through to the top of the hill. Should be looking just to save par from there. That was looking good too. Maybe a little inside, but that would have been a putt without that last tree.
All right, we got Andrew Marwede here going for a nice, sexy Firebird forehand. Keep it nice and low to the hill. What? Where did that go?
That's what I was wondering. I thought that was a good shot.
Not even the cameraman.
I think it hit that like last root, just like stuck. I was wondering how that got there. So sick. Nice cold Dr. Pepper you drinking?
You can say that. I like the Dr. Pepper and cream soda, limited edition. I mean, get yours while it lasts because it's a popular beverage. Nectar of the gods, they say. Speaking of nectar of the gods, oh, never mind.
I was trying.
Let's see how he deals with that unfortunate footing he's got going on. I'm guessing he'll probably give it a good, nice little ying.
I told him to jump putt it, but he didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been kind of a drop, though.
Probably a smart move. He didn't listen to me. Skyler leaving his putt just a little bit wide.
So I got to ask, you know, you've been talking about these past, this round and, the last round about when people are asking for advice, you just tell them to run it. Is that just like your go-to advice for every single one of your opponents?
Everything, just run it every time.
Okay.
I mean, especially on camera.
Yeah, you have to.
But you're not going to make it if you don't run it, and obviously I want you to shoot the best you can do, so run it.
You've heard it here first. Pro tip by Andrew Marwede. He gives lessons, so hit him up.
A couple of us just tapping in our pars. Didn't play that hole quite to the best of our abilities, but moving on, we got hole 11, par 3, 344 feet across the field. Play here is just taking a nice overstable distance driver, playing it nice and wide, high, spiking it in, or going with the lower approach, straight at it, trying to dig into that hillside. Definitely one that everyone here is trying to get. George giving that one a good bid. Is that an Onyx, you think?
I don't know. See, that's a great... It's either I don't know. It's either an Onyx or a Zeus, because either way, you could still play that same shot, but...
Straight at the basket.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say Onyx, because it did have a little bit of a hyzer to it.
Cam going for the wide spike approach to it, leaves it just a little bit short and left, but inside the circle, he'll have a putt for 2.
We got Andy following suit with that backhand hyzer. Gets a nice little flip up out of it, and looks like it's going to be tracking pretty nice. Excellent spot for a nice little 2-look. All right, we got 75% in birdie putting range. Let's see if we can make it 100. We got Skyler throwing a little bit wide. Hopefully that wind picks it up, and it's good to go. Stayed out of that rough. Flip City rough is pretty bad. You got stinging nettles to worry about, poison ivy, and pickers, so just keep it in the fairway here, boys. Got Cam here, nice little long putt. Candyman. Cam the Candyman. Nice little birdie.
Yeah, Skyler with a kind of almost like a death putt because of the way that hill goes. Just off the mark over top. But he'll have a 20-footer for par. Just didn't really commit to that one.
All right, third time's a charm. And there it is.
Jams it in. I know the wind was pretty significant at this part of the course right now, too. Might have a slight factor of things. George with a nice little putt for his birdie.
Nice birdie by Andrew Marwede. Just pulling further and further ahead of the rest of the pack. Now at 17 down. This is a historic round for Andrew Marwede at Flip City. Record setting. Definitely getting his name on a plaque. Some point, it's somewhere. We got hole 1A, 260 feet. You're throwing from uphill to a nice downhill spot. So honestly, you just want to burn in left of that rock and yeah, make your putt. It's a good forehand hole, and I guess if you want, you can make it a nice backhand hole, but I guarantee you they're going to be seeing more shots like this one.
With a nice flex with his zone, trying to keep it nose down, not trying to have it float off too much to the right, but well within the circle in his range. Cam going with a similar approach here, keeping it nice and low, maybe a little bit too low, but it scoots up there just behind that tree. We'll have a look.
Got Andy Marwood here with his signature pig.
Spider pig?
Spider pig. You know, I'm surprised you don't show that to the camera before you throw it, because, you know, I just know the audience would like to see it.
If they would like to see it, they can check out my In the Bag, In the Making.
Ooh.
Soon to come out, so you heard it here first.
TBA, boys. Stay tuned. Great shot by
Skyler.
Skyler, sorry. I didn't see it. Great putt over that rock. That rock does play a little bit of an obstruction. It does kind of get in your head a little bit, but
he did say he had to go, like, he had to flex it just right of that little rock pile on top of that big rock, so it definitely was in the way, so.
Oh my gosh.
Even more the impressive putt.
I mean, either that or you can just play the skip off the rock. Take your choosing. Great birdie by Cam. Another ABC putt for this guy. The visor kid, they call him.
And another star frame?
Yeah, somebody ring that bicycle bell. But thank you guys so much for watching. We got the front 12 scores here for Flip City round 2. Andrew Marwede shooting a super hot 7 down with one little baby bogey 4. Got Cameron Benak at 2 down. We got
even, and then George Beno finishing out with a super solid -6. Crew 42 Patreon supporters. If you're not supporting them, you should. Be sure to give us a like, a follow, subscription, comment below. Just be nice to us.
Donations, please. Accepted.
Couch Tween commentary coming back with the back 12 shortly. That's it for now. Just watch this spinning basket, and we'll see you in a little bit.